Hello, I'm Reshawna Leaven with Keller Williams Realty. So today I want to talk about the real estate uniform residential loan application. Just to go over it a little more in detail so you know about what things are. So at the top here, you have the borrower, so that would be you. And if you're buying with someone else, that would be the co-borrower on that line there. So you both will have to sign if it's two co-borrowers. And the type of mortgage that you're going to do. If you're a veteran, you would choose VA. If FHA, you might want to leave that blank at the time because the loan officer will fill these things out, but I'm just explaining what these items are. And the amount of the loan, the current interest rate, the number of months, what type of amortization schedule it's going to be. Is it going to be a fixed rate? Is it going to be an ARM? And then the subject property, when you first fill out your application, this will be blank because you're not going to have the property, of course. Unless you're doing a refinance, then the property address would be in there in the purpose of the loan. So are you purchasing or are you refinancing? Is it a construction loan? Is it a construction to permanent loan? And will this property be your primary residence? Meaning, are you going to live in it full time? Or is it going to be a secondary residence? Or is it an investment? So now we go to section 2. So this is the information about you. So this is your name, this is social security number, your phone number, your date of birth, years in school, are you married, are you separated, unmarried, do you have any dependents not listed by the co-borrower, your present address, your present mailing address if it's different than your present address, your former address, if you've moved within the last 2 years, do you currently own, do you currently rent, and how long have you been there? Then section 4 is your employment information, so the name and address of your employer. And are you self-employed? If you're self-employed, you have to check the box. The years at this job, years employed in this line of work. So this is important because if you were a W-2 employee and you switch to self-employed, you're going to have to wait 2 years because they need to see 2 years worth of tax returns and income to define your stability. So though there are other programs, but for most people, that's what you have to do. So what is your position? And are you in that same line of work? And what's the business number for access to the HR department, because they're going to have to verify your employment. And then you would fill this out if your jobs have changed several times. And for section 5, so this is your monthly income and combined housing expense information. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see. Zoom on in there. So your base income. So this is the amount that is before taxes. And is it any overtime income? Keep in mind you won't be able to use overtime income if it's not consistent within 2 years. Any bonuses? Are there any commissions? Anything that needs to be stated, you put it here. And if you're self-employed, you have to do some other items. Are you paying alimony? Are you getting child support? Are you paying child support? So those are additional things that you need to notate. In section 6, assets and liabilities. So these are things that you're actually paying out on a daily basis. On a monthly basis. So they want you to know what is in your checking and savings account. So they want to know the name, the address, the account number, the amount. And then those are your assets. So then your liabilities, what companies. So these are real estate loans, any alimony, any child support, anything that's coming out, that's your student loans. Those things need to be here, and the monthly payments for those items in the unpaid balance on the other side. And now we scroll to the other side. So they continue to add those items up, and if there's not enough space, they'll do an additional notation, and they're going to add up all those items and that would be your total assets and then your total liabilities. In here, so this is the schedule of real estate owned. So if you own real estate, this section will be filled out here. And section 7, detail of the transaction. This probably wouldn't be filled out by you. This is just so you know what this is. So that's your purchase price, the prepaid items, estimated closing costs, those things will be there, and then the total cost. Then on the other side, that is the section 8 for declaration. So this is, do you have any outstanding judgments against you? Have you ever declared bankruptcy in the last 7 years? Have you foreclosed on a property in the last 7 years? Are you a party to a lawsuit? Those kinds of questions have to be answered with a yes or a no. And if you answer them incorrectly, then that would be considered mortgage fraud. So then this is additional information, details for the transaction, and then the declaration section, and then you sign and date. And then for section 10, information for government monitoring service, you can choose not to fill this out, or you can. So you can fill out your ethnicity, your race, and your sex there, or you can choose not to. And then the loan officer would fill this out, and they would state how they actually did the interview. Did they do it on the phone? Was it face-to-face? So on and so forth. And then you would sign here at the bottom. And that is a brief explanation of what is included in a residential loan application. The residential loan application will change in 2021, and I will do an additional video on that. I hope this was helpful to you. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.